Hello my dear students. Let us continue with the chapter that is structured query language. In our previous videos, we have seen few of the examples based upon the DML, DDL and the DCL as well as DQL. So we'll have a 2 minutes, we'll have a glance on previous commands what we have discussed. So we have firstly discussed about the DDL commands, that is data definition commands. We have create, alter and drop command. So create command is used to create the table. Okay, so in order to create the table, okay, we need to use a keyword known as create followed by a table and then followed by the table name. Okay, so right now here we are having the fields as register number whose data type is number and the size of this number data type is 4. Then name varchar 2 of 10. Varchar, it's a variable character, okay, whose size would be 10. Then we have combination again whose size would be varchar 2 of 4. 4 is a size. Now what is this varchar? Varchar is nothing but it's a variable character, variable length character, wherein it can have the combination of both the alphanumeric data type. Understood? Whereas the number, it consists of that you are able to enter only the numbers into this field known as register number. So once you execute this query, your empty table would be created. Okay, without any these records. Okay, that is the use of the create table. Create table allows the user to create a table, or the weave also can be created by using a command known as create. Then moving on to the alter. Now suppose if I want to add one more field to my table, a new field. That means when you add a new field to your table, isn't it your structure of a table is being changed? Suppose for an example, in a classroom, only 3 rows if are there, okay, then if I want to adjust such a way that it should accommodate at least 4 rows, then you are making the changes in the structure of that particular particular room. You are making the changes to the particular arrangement of that particular classroom. So you are changing the structure. Similarly, when I have to add any new column to my existing table, then I should use the command known as alter. Okay, followed by table. Which table? That is table name. Alter, table. These are the keywords that you have to follow. This is okay. Alter, table, table name. Then you have to use a keyword known as add, then followed by the new column and its data type and size you have to mention. So when you execute this query, a particular new column or the new field will be created as an address here. Understood? So then drop command. Drop command is used to entirely to delete the table or to delete the entire database. Okay, if I don't want the student table, now I don't want in future use also, I want to entirely delete the student table from my database, then I have to use a command known as drop. So drop table, then followed by the table name. So these were some of the DDL commands we had discussed. Then we have discussed about some DML command, that is data manipulation command. So previously when I said I have to create a table, when I execute that particular table command, when I execute this first particular command, then an empty table with the register number, with the name and then the combination. So much empty blank table would be created. When I execute the alter command, a new column will be added here, and if I don't want this table to be there into my database permanently, if I want to delete, then I have to use a command known as drop. Okay, so before I have to begin with a few more examples, so these basics you should be knowing which command is used for what purpose. Okay, and then we have discussed about the data manipulation language, that is insert, update and delete. Now if I want to insert a values into my empty table, okay, for the first time if I want to insert a values to my empty table, then I should make use of a command known as the insert. Okay, so the syntax for the insert command is, that is insert into table name you have to specify, then specify a keyword as values, then followed by register number of register number whose data type was number and then we have a varchar that was name, and then PCMC. So anything that is in terms of varchar should be included in single quotes, and the numeric should be written as it is, and all of these should be separated by the comma. Then when they separated by the comma, it is understood that this belongs to the first field, this value belongs to the second field, and this value belongs to the third field. Fine. Then we have a command known as the update command. So update, usually it is used to make any changes in the contents of the table. Okay, if I want to make the changes to the content of the table, then I shall use the update. If I want to insert the values for the first time in my table, I have to use the insert command. And if I want to change the structure of my table, I have to use the alter command. So if I want to update the contents, here it is 103, I wanted to make it as 1003, then update followed by the table name, set is a keyword, register number is equal to, but you have to give one reference there. Think that only this much you have written, update student set register number is equal to 103. If you execute only this much query, then all the register numbers would turn into 1003. Okay, if you specify where name is equal to Rakesh, if you specify, then only this specific record where the name is Rakesh, it will control will go to this particular name first, find out the condition is where name is equal to Rakesh, and then it makes the particular changes to that particular record. Understood? Okay, then moving on to the next one is delete from the student. Suppose if I want to keep an empty table, but I want to delete all the contents of the table. If I want to delete, then I have to make use of a keyword known as SQL command known as delete from, you have to use a keyword, the student where the register number is 1004. That means here what I am doing, I am deleting particular record. I am deleting a particular record where the register number is 1004. In that case, I need to use the delete command. And one more thing is select command. Select star from student where name is equal to Rajesh. This star indicates that all the fields of the particular student name as Rajesh, it has to display all the records related to this particular student known as Rajesh. This star actually indicates that. Okay, asterisk, we usually don't say it as star, we usually refer it as an asterisk. This asterisk indicates that all the records of that particular student should be displayed. So when this particular query is executed, so 1001 Rajesh PCMC related, any information related to Rajesh will be displayed through the select command. Okay, so these were some of the commands. And then we have seen that grant and revoke. If any user permission has been required to read, write, to make the changes to your table, then through the grant command we can give the permission to the users, and revoke means whatever the privileges or the permission you have given to the user should be taken back. And then we have the data query language. So if I need to retrieve the records, if I need certain contents to be retrieved from my table, okay, based upon one or two tables or the column, then I shall use the select command. Then nextly we have studied about the operators. I think arithmetic operators we have started with. I think we have seen that particular chart we have discussed. So which are the arithmetic operators, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus. Now before we start with the actual next operators, okay, that is I think that is the comparison operators. Okay, some of the examples also we shall see here in the comparison operators. The first comparison operator is about equals to. So this operator equals to actually checks whether the value of two operands are equal or not. Now let us consider the value of A to be as the 10 and B to be as the 20. I repeat, A value considered to be as 10 and B value to be as 20. Now using this, if I write this as expression as A equals to B, that means it checks, actually this operator actually checks for the equality. So 10 is equals to B. If it is so, if 10 is equals to B, that means B is holding 20. If 10 is equal to 20, the condition is false, and therefore it returns me the false, or the answer might be is not true. Right now here, since A value is holding as 10, B as 20, so 10 equals to 20 is false. Hence it returns the answer as not true. If suppose A was 20, B is also 20, then it would return me the condition to be as true. So this is an equals to operator. Then we have not equals to. Not equals to, it checks for the value of two operands are equal or not. But here what happens, if both the values are not equal, then only it will give me the condition as true. Firstly, first one was actually giving me the true condition only when there is equality. So this not equals to will give me the condition, or the answer has to be true when both the values are not equal with each other. Say for an example here, A is not equals to B. That means 10 is not equals to 20. Yes, the condition is true. So here it is checking for not equality. Therefore, the answer I will be getting here as true. Okay, then moving on to the next one. Now here this also actually checks for the not equals to. It is very much similar to the previous operator, but the same functionality is provided by both. Here also this is also not equals to only. So you can see here, checks if the values of two operand are equal or not. If values are not equal, then the condition would become true. Now the notation here I am using is this one. Rather than instead of using this, I am just using, but both does the same functionality. A is not equals to B. Yes, you're right, 10 is not equals to B, therefore I am getting the condition answer to be as here as true. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is greater than, as we know here. So here it actually checks the operand. Left operand is what? A, and right operand is B, and what is this one is operator. So it actually checks whether the left operand is greater than that of the right operand. If so, it returns me the answer as true. So whether 10 is greater than B, it's false. Hence the answer would be not true, or it might be also as a false condition. Similarly here, it actually checks whether the left operand is less than that of the right operand. So 10 is less than 20. Yes, my condition satisfies here. Hence I am getting the answer to be here as true. Okay. Then we have greater than or equals to. So here it actually checks if the value of the left operand is greater than the value of the right operand. So value of the left operand is greater than or equals to the value of the right operand. So herein what happens, whether 10 is greater than or equal to 20, no, condition is false, therefore it returns me as it's not true. Then we have less than or equals to. So here and again, so it actually checks the left operand is less than or equal to. That means 10 is less than or equals to 20 it is taking. So 10 is less than. At least one condition is satisfying it is. Okay, it's not equals to, but at least it is less than. So therefore, here the condition, either of the one it should satisfy. If so, then it will be returning to the answer to be as true here. Suppose if I have A value also to be 20 and B value is also be 20. So 20 is less than or is equal to 20. Then also it would return me the answer as true. That is true only because it is at least satisfying as equality. But if my value of A, if it was 40 is less than or equals to 20, then it would return me the answer to be as the false. It is neither less than, neither it is equality. I hope you are able to find the difference. Then we have not equals to. Okay, so therein this condition actually checks for if the value of the left operand is not less than the value of the right operand. If yes, then the condition would become true. Now look here, 10 is the value. 10 is not less than the B, 20. 10 is not less than the 20 actually. So 10 is not less than, so not less than it is, actually it is less than. 10 is less than 20. Therefore it returns me the answer as false here. But look at here. It checks for the whether the left operand is not greater than. They are not checking for less than or equal to. They are checking for the not less than and not greater than the right value, right operand. If so, the condition would become true here. Now look at here, the value of A to be as 10 here. Whether 10 is not greater than B, it is checking. Whether 10 is not greater than B. Yes, 10 is not greater than B. 10 is actually less than B. Therefore, the condition is true I am getting. So, you might get confusion between these operators and you might get confusion with the checking for equality and not equality. Actually, here we are checking that not less than, not greater than, and here we are checking for not equality, and here also we are checking for not equality. When they are satisfying for the not equality, all these four operators would return us the answer as true, whereas in the other case, here it checks for equality, here it is greater than, less than, greater than or equal to less than. Here on condition becomes true if it is actually checking for equality. So if it is equal, then it would return me the answer as true, otherwise as the false. So how we have in C++ the comparison operators for 5 marks they may ask. So here and also they may ask for the 5 marks. So any 5 you need to explain about the operator description as well as you need to quote the examples. Okay, I hope the students the concepts are clear. Now moving on to the very important topic, that is the logical operators. As we know, the logical operators we have studied like and, or, and, not, correct? So what is and logical operator? If suppose we have two conditions, then both the condition has to be satisfied. Say we have studied in the Boolean algebra also, sorry, in logic gates all have studied, isn't it? So both if it all 1 1, then overall result would result in as 1. If the combination as 1 0, then AND operator if you apply, then it would return 0. Even if it is 0 1 also, you would return it as a 0. Even if it is 0 0 also, it would result in terms of the answer as 0. So what does actually the AND says that both the condition should satisfy. Okay, both the input should be high. If both the input are high, then you are getting the output to be as high. High in the sense that is true or 1, low in the sense that is false, or either it should be the 0. Similarly, we do have about the OR operator. So what in case of OR operator? If both are low, okay, say suppose both the conditions are low, like 0 0, then the overall would result in terms of 0. Suppose if either of the one, so 1 0, if either of the one condition is high, then I would have got the answer to be as high. So if I get as 1 0, then I would get as answer as 1. Then if I have 0 1, okay, then also I would get the answer as high, that is 1. And if it is 1 1 also, I would get the answer to be as high. So any one of the condition if it is satisfying, then I can go for the, that is the overall condition to be as true or the high in case of the OR operator. Then what about the NOT operator? NOT operator, either any one of the conditions should be, suppose if the condition if it is high, I would get a reverse of it as the answer as low, and if the condition if it is low, I would get the reverse of it as the answer as to be as high, that is 1. So 1 if it is the input, output I would get 0. If input is 0, then I would get the output as to be 1. So these logical operators we have studied. But in case of SQL, we have more number of logical operators like all, and, any, between, exist, in, like, not, unique. So we have more number of logical operators to be discussed in the SQL. So these are also very important. But students, these I'll be explaining with the examples in my next video. Okay. But today what all we have discussed with a few concepts about the previous, like arithmetic and comparison operators. So just to make a note of all those things. Okay. Thank you students. Take care of yourself.